Here we are at Draycott Cross again. It's a beautiful day, but not so good for gardeners. 28 degrees in the shade, a lot hotter than that in the sun, but a spectacular day, almost like a postcard weather, and certainly warmer than Spain and many places in Europe. In fact, this is looking more like Australia.
Tony Greig won the toss and elected to bat, and we pick up play in the fourth over. England are 17 without loss. Dennis Lilly is bowling to Dennis Amos.
Keeping these plants alive over the last 2 weeks has been a great task, but they're not too bad today. Not too bad. There's still some colour around. Obviously it's nothing like it should be, but it's not too bad. Some plants just haven't flowered properly, and you can tell by the leaves they're just struggling, even after the huge amount of water they've had. If I'd have worked as a fireman, I'd have used less water for the last 2 weeks. I've never seen the lawns here as dried and parched as they are here now. It just looks like a desert. That familiar sound like cornflakes under your feet. It would need probably 3-4 days constant rain to bring any kind of green back on here. Just about still alive. The familiar sight of the garden hose pipe, which I'm sick of the sight of. A lot of watering and hoeing has kept this Chinese foxglove border reasonable, and it's passable, just about acceptable. Quite happy with this, considering, I mean, this has been a long drought now, possibly 6 weeks, and definitely the last 2 weeks with very high temperatures, 28, 29, 30, 31, even 32. So no sign of rain given out for the next 2 weeks, so God only knows what's going to happen after that. One small silver lining is that the weeds that were growing around here have obviously died, not only through weed killer but also through the heat. Even this dappled sunlight over this shaded lawn has not prevented the sun from wreaking havoc, and this is dried out and looking pretty miserable. These young trees have picked up somewhat. They're not too bad now. They're still showing some signs of distress, but a lot better than they were. I've watered them, you know, every single night here and tidied up round the bottom, but young trees subjected to this full penetration of the sun every day, it's just a nightmare. You can just see the weeds poking up through the grass, or what remains of the grass, but even they have died as well. So everything here is crying out for rain, but even having said that, it's going to take some significant rain to ever imagine this looking different. It really does. It's not even Australia, it looks more like Benghazi. This is normally a view of lush green grass, and it's like Nancy Griffith's Dust Bowl Symphony. Even the farmland is not growing. You can see that's had a cut several weeks ago, and there's no new green grass on the top at all. It's just completely gone. But it's not unusual in this kind of heat. Potentilla has fared better than most, and so too the rosemary. Even the periwinkle is looking pretty sad, and that's had so much water. I can't believe how much water this place has had over the last 2 weeks, and it's almost like it's made hardly any impact. You can see the leaves curling up, the sign of drought. Nothing much you can do. It has a lot of water, this shrub, every night, and it's still not making much impact. Another beautiful day here, a glorious July day up at Draycott Cross, but for gardeners the nightmare continues. You see these cracks here? This is where the England pace bowlers will be doing some damage.